What's up, everybody? Just wanted to jump on this evening and, get into something that I think is very important. And I'm not going to be very long because I got a lot of information that I want to put out, and I am. Right now, in the United States, probably in the world, we are facing a epidemic, and the epidemic is dealing with street drugs. Um, you know, People using drugs without getting a prescription and buying drugs, okay, and overdosing. Presently, last year, about 100,000 people overdosed. That would be enough to fill that stadium. Take a look at that stadium. That's how many people overdosed accidentally. And what happens is that, one of the things that we know is that, the form or manner of death is going to be homicide, natural, and accidental overdose. Well, we're talking about like opioids. So basically, when a person ingests a drug, they have a reaction. Now, follow along. 77% of the drugs that are purchased on the street are counterfeit drugs. 77%. Many times people don't have a prescription, doctors are regulating these drugs, and they go to the street drugs. Now, as I've indicated, I'm not trying to advocate for taking street drugs. That's not the purpose. If you got an issue, you're going to have an issue after you use the drugs. That's just what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just what it is. But let's talk about the reality of it. So what ends up happening is that once a substance is in your body, the brain receptor on an opioid says danger, 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 danger. They say that probably within 4 minutes of ingesting it, you can begin to die. What happens is that maybe the person blue or gray lips, nails or skin, gurgling, okay, and the pupils dilated like this, pupils dilated because it is a stimulant. This is the amount of fentanyl that can kill a person, that little bit. So basically, the issue is, how does this happen? Well, what happens is that it's one of really economics and basically the law. Well, here's the situation. If you are caught with a large amount of controlled substance, it's a different level of punishment. So what people try to do is they sell counterfeit drugs, just like they do counterfeit Apple Watches, just like they sell counterfeit anything. And it's also one of economics because oxycodone pill may, be a real one is going to be way more expensive than a counterfeit. You take that little bit of fentanyl and you add it with aspirin, and this is what you end up making. That is counterfeit oxycodone. You can't really even tell. Say it's late at night. This is authentic at the top. That's counterfeit at the bottom. Okay. So somebody said, you got that oxy, and then they give them that. So what they do is they batch it up. Well, what about they say, you know what? We don't want a oxycodone. We want Xanax. Same thing. So what they end up doing is the coloring is different. But inside of this, more often than not, is fentanyl. Some people say, well, students, I need some Adderall to, keep me up because I'm studying late night. Same thing with the Adderall. So this is the authentic. This is the, this is how it looks. Okay. And so what they do is they poison the supply. And what happens is that people are overdosing. and they're overdosing. Give you an example. Say, for instance, a person's affected, is about to get evicted, and they're like, man, I just need to zone off for a minute. That's not going to help. But guess what? They go to a street drug, they cop a street drug, and they can die. From the time that you ingest fentanyl with one of these counterfeit drugs, it normally takes within 4 minutes, you're dead. So what happens is that when they give you something like this Narcan, okay, it's Narcan. And what that does is it tells the brain, hold off. It's not an emergency. It's not an emergency. And so what it does is it keeps you alive long enough for EMS to come. Now, remember during the pandemic, everybody, sanitize your hand. Okay, let me tell you something. This Narcan can save people's lives, but people don't want to say, well, I may got a problem. Look, if you think you, your friend, somebody, Narcan can save lives. Well, in Michigan, I'm afraid, in Michigan, there's a Good Samaritan law. And what it says, if you call 911 for an overdose or help someone who is overdosed, Michigan law generally protects you from arrest for drug possession, arrest for drug paraphernalia, and for being under the influence, even if that person turns out to be you. Be on 911, call them. This is what's going on. This Narcan can save a person's life. Okay, just like everybody got this in they see the what is it? The sanitizer. This can save lives because without it, people are dying. Oh, well, you know what? This person had a drug problem. A lot of times it's just like going to get a drink. I just need to escape reality. And when I showed you the different types of drugs and how they look, no one would know. How would somebody really know that this is a knockoff Apple Watch? But it is, okay? So what they do is they make it so similar, and the money that they save is tremendous. I want to share with you now a video that tells you you can actually test drugs. Now, as I indicated before, I'm not advocating for anybody to use street drugs. It's illegal and you should not do it. But if people are going to use these drugs, okay, this is something that they need to know.
You bought some drugs?
Don't worry, we're not cops. We just don't want you to die.
Here's how to use a fentanyl test strip so you don't die.
Here's what you're gonna need. Water,
your substance, fentanyl test strip, and something you can stir with.
Step 1, you're gonna fill a container with some water.
For this, you can use a cup or a cap of a water bottle.
Fill your container with about 15 milliliters of water, which is about a tablespoon.
Or you can even use the bag that the test strips come in. Next, pour in some of your substance. If you are testing MDMA or meth, you should test about 10 milligrams, but all other drugs require about 50 milligrams to be tested.
And then mix it until it's fully dissolved. And if you have pills, you're gonna wanna test every individual pill.
Crush the pill,
And then shake it so it's thoroughly mixed. Now's the fun part. Open up your package and take out your test strip. The side with the little blue triangles is the side you're going to put into the water.
dip the strip into the water for at least 10 seconds. Take it out of the water and wait about 60 seconds. Now you got your results. 2 lines means no fentanyl, but 1 line, that means your substance most likely has fentanyl in it.
False negatives absolutely can happen, which is why it's super important to always carry Narcan close by. Stay safe out there.
I wanted to share that with you. So as I've indicated before, I'm not advocating for anybody to purchase street drugs. Things happen. But let me tell you something. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Do you have to pay for it? You can get this anywhere. You can buy these anywhere and you can have them. You can go online and learn about the testing like I did tonight so that I would be able to share that and educate you. Remember, 100,000 people are dying of accidental overdoses. 77% of the street drugs out here have fentanyl in it. Listen, be careful. If you know somebody that uses street drugs, please share this with them. And if you know somebody, just drop it in your purse. This can save people's lives. Be blessed and enjoy your day. And you should never use drugs. Never. But if you do, this information is helpful.